Most traders aren't successful because of strategy. It's not that they don't know what to do, it's that they can't do what they know that they should be doing.
I made $30,000 in a month. Money that I was making, I was investing in stocks and crypto. Came the crash, actually I fell into depression.
There's something broken in the mix, whether it's you don't have money coming in outside of trading, you don't record your data.
Instead of following quantitative based goals, you should go for process oriented goals. Did you do workout every morning? Did you do your breath work?
My market direction had been right for so many years, and I wasn't making any money that it just genuinely destroyed my self-image.
We had about 30-40 people on a call, and we were talking about how psychedelics can affect your trading positively.
Boom, dude. Yeah, so super happy to be chatting with you. It's always a good time when we connect. We've had a very wide range of conversations on our calls before, so I'm excited to see where this one can go.
Yeah, so I see you as a psychology trader. So certain insight that you shared a few months ago have been really helpful for me. So I'm also really happy to be on this call.
Which things are you referring to? The most recent call that we did?
So one of the funny conversations that we had about 30-40 people on a call. And we were talking about how psychedelics, psychology, and different hacks, like when it comes to psychology, can affect your trading positively. And it was so funny conversation that I had so many funny comments from other people that were on the call, and I never had such a conversation with somebody like I did with you. And not just that call, like one of the first calls, I think the first call, you blew my mind with your mind maps and detailed explanations of how everything works when it comes to trading and how you can positively impact your trading with certain aspects when you nail them down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, my perspective on trading psychology as a whole has completely changed in the last year, I would say. Like before, it was just have a tough week, just listen to some Mark Douglas, and that would help bring my emotions back up again, but it just did not improve my trading at all. It was a nice cushion, and I would always feel better after I listened to Mark Douglas, but my results didn't change at all. Now I really view trading psychology as like, and it's not this like ambiguous thing where, okay, I need to focus on fixing my psychology. Again, there is the ambiguous element, the bit that we spoke about before about the subconscious beliefs and everything. But I view that differently to trading psychology. That I think is more mechanical, like is genuinely what is your current existing limiting beliefs and just beliefs in general. And then we can work to fix those mechanically, and then the results follow. I've had some crazy like just smacks in the face, just like, holy crap, this is my current belief system, work on changing that.
Epiphanies, yeah.
Yeah, and immediately the results just follow straight away, man. It's absolutely amazing.
So I think every trader has certain things that at certain point come up, and it changes your trading completely. I remember about 3 years ago, I was on a call with trading psychotherapist. Like she's literally just working only with the traders and trying to improve their mental and cognitive performance. And I remember, so traders that are trading on the market, usually, so everybody has certain goals, but most of the traders, I would say 90% has quantitative based goals. I need to make certain amount of money. I need to make X dollars, X percentage. And let's say in 1 week you make your goal. In next week you don't make your goal. But then in the third week you chase the goal from the previous week in order, to make up for what your goal is. And I remember listening to her, and then she said, instead of following quantitative based goals, you should go for process oriented goals. And so what that would mean, so she would say, instead of following your metrics like how much money you made or how much percentage you made, you can just follow did you do workout every morning? Did you do your breath work? Did you do, I don't know. Actually I have a ritual every morning. So when I actually sit up at my desk, I don't wear sunglasses. I don't wear glasses, but actually I put my glasses and I imagine I have X-ray vision. I see the charts, and so that's my ritual. Like I actually took that from Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal has certain rituals before he's serving the set, and
Hmm.
so I was like, maybe I can just do certain things that successful um, uh, sport players actually do. And for example, Novak Djokovic, he's from Serbia. I know maybe you heard of it. He's the best in the world, and
Hmm.
he has also certain rituals that he does before he enters the game. Even like Muhammad Ali, a famous boxer, had certain rituals before every boxing match. And I was just
Cool
curious,
fact.
I wanted to ask you. So in that last year that you had you in that last year that you had your epiphany, what was the moment of change? Was it frustration? What was it for you?
Honestly, man, it was a couple of things, but the main thing was that I had been able to trade, let's say, been able to call the market, been able to predict, let's say, like my market direction had been right for so many years, and I wasn't making any money that it just genuinely destroyed my self-image. So I, as a man, just felt like a shell of a human because I was like, oh my God, I know what to do and I'm just not able to do it. So it was take a break. And then when I came back, I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. It's like that conversation that you have with someone in the mirror where it's like, this is it or it's not. Like either I can do this or I just have to hang the boots up. And I think a large part of what helped is having a partner. It adds that extra layer of responsibility. It's like, okay, we're no longer just responsible for us now. We have to step up and do what we know that we're able to do. At the same time, it was that conversation that happened pairing with, like you mentioned, completely switching the objective or the goals from monetary. I completely threw that out the window, changed my strategy completely, just reduced it down to absolute bare bones, went back to just trading. Okay, I'm just going to trade hourly closures, hourly structure at daily support and resistance zones. I don't care about the P&L. I just want to be able to take a trade and know that I'm able to hold that to fruition because that was my issue, man. Like, even though I could call direction, I couldn't hold a trade for the life of me because I just built up so much trauma from just losses and
Mm.
losses and making mistakes that my baseline level for my nervous system was just so out of whack. So the break, just lots of meditation, fasting, just not even thinking about the markets at all, just really letting everything reset and then come back and putting process first. Like it was, I genuinely didn't care about the result of the trade whatsoever. It was almost like I was accepting the loss. Like, come on, hit my stop loss if you want. And it was so empowering to actually to watch it go the whole way down and hit my stop loss because that was something that I just wasn't doing before. Like I would always close it before it hit there, and it's crazy that like I thought of myself as somewhat intelligent, but yet I was doing something so fundamentally broken for so long and just wondering why I wasn't getting the results. And it's just crazy. And that kind of is the life of a trader. Again, it's there's me kind of coping. But I know I've had lots of friends doing it, lots of other relationships of people who are really switched on, but still making fundamental mistakes. And it's crazy that we do that as traders. So yeah, it was process first, and then just being so sick of making mistakes, I just couldn't even look at myself anymore. So I just had to change. I guess just rock bottom really. The only way is up.
Yeah. So interesting what you said that about the partner. Actually, in my life, also partner played a key role. I remember it was 2021. I made the most money ever I could make. One of my best months was I think I made $30,000 in a month, around $30,000. That's extreme now. I don't make that money anymore in a month. But I remember I had a month that completely blew me away. And so I had the best year 2021. And then what happened uh, after New Year's Eve, I had a lot of exposure to stocks and cryptos. Money that I was making, I was investing in stocks and crypto. And then came the crash, war in
You remember that?
Ukraine, and I f- I fell into depression, complete depression, and I was so anxious. I wanted to, and it was also post-COVID time. You couldn't go out. There were just closures of clubs, events and so forth. And I remember I was so anxious, and just accidentally, she walked into my life and completely changed the way I see myself. And so I think that self-image helped me, even if 2022 was the worst year ever, I still didn't make up the losses I made in 2022. But actually it was such a lesson, found lesson. I was super biased. I was falling in love into directions, expecting that uh, only one direction is going to serve me the whole time, and I was completely wrong. But then,
Mm.
as I said, my partner came, helped me, stay on the ground, and eventually I was able, to go through that. But it took a lot of psychotherapy. um, the first time I went to psychotherapy was just, when you enter the trade, all of the price action, watch the charts, what they're doing. And I thought in that moment that I actually wanted to find out, why am I looking at the charts? Why am I so obsessed at looking at the price? And so I was like, let me just schedule one psychotherapy. Actually, my friend suggested me one psychotherapist. And when I came there, it was just visualization of me in the charts, of me in a chart, looking at each other. And so the exercise was, I was supposed to, while visualizing in a meditative state, I was supposed to visualize turning back to my chart and walking away. But every time I start walking away, I look at back if it's looking back at me. And so still not perfect. I still look at the charts when I enter the trade, but it's so much more calmer than it used to be.
Hmm. Yeah, man, it's a massive thing of like torture that we do to ourselves. It's not going to change the outcome at all. We have our limit set, we have our exit point, but
The
still, we
amount of
just look at
looking will not change anything.
it's crazy, and it's so amazing. The same action, like the same situation, is so different. Whether we accept the loss, whether we look at it, etc. Like yesterday, took a trade, set my limits, and then just went back to sleep. And woke up, lost, went about our day, went to the river, enjoyed the day with some friends. I didn't even think about it. But that day could
Mm.
have been so different had I taken that trade, sat there, watched it, wished that it was going to go the opposite direction. Because that's really where the pain comes from, isn't it? It's the wanting things to be different to how they actually are. So as price is going towards our stop loss, where they're sitting there thinking, turn around, turn around, turn around. And it's that is the point where we're feeling the pain because we're at war with reality. We're at war with what's actually currently happening. So therefore, if like this is what's happening and this is us, it's literally twisting in the opposite directions. That's why our body just feels so much stress, etc. And that's where the disease comes from. That's where the trauma comes from. It's that battle between how things actually are and how we want them to be. So it all comes down to acceptance. Like if we can genuinely take the trade, accept the loss, trading doesn't have to be that painful. Easier said than done, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. So for example, when you when you enter the trade, usually the price will go a little bit in your drawdown, walk around your stop loss level. But then what I realized that, people that are looking at charts, okay, I'm not perfect. I still look at the charts, but not in the amount I used to do it. But I think having a social life, having hobbies is so important, because if you don't have anything else to relate to, you're just going to look at the charts the whole day. And so that's a problem. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You look at the charts instead of focusing on let's say uh, some hobby, like it can be art, it can be I don't know, workout, whatever it is. So outside, so trading is one way of looking at the world, but just exiting that reality, you just let the market does the outcome of the trade. And so I think having that mindset that you need a life beside the charts is so powerful. So as you said, you entered the trade, you saw the loss, but then you went out with the friends to a river. And so I think that's a powerful statement.
Yeah, man. And listening to you saying that, it's something I've been very guilty of, has been the opposite. It's been falling into the trap of thinking, okay, no, I need to spend more time focusing on this so that I can improve it. When in reality, what's that saying, that if you keep sharpening the knife, eventually it will get blunt. And that stands true in trading as well. Like if we just keep focusing on this so much, we're actually draining our battery, our energy levels, so that when it comes to actually showing up, we don't have the juice. Same with the gym. Like you can't just work out all the time. It doesn't work. You're not going to grow. We have to like rest, digest, come back the next day.
Yeah, I think just having something outside of the trading. So I wanted to play drums. I have also like right now because I'm back in my country, Serbia. Actually, I have a cat. I go to the festivals. Uh, I actually hang out a lot with the father of my girlfriend, and just certain activities. Actually, I started cooking. Bro, I make such a amazing bread because I'm on a keto diet. I make such a amazing keto bread. Made like my girlfriend is just stunned of how my food is getting really good.
I remember you getting really excited to go back to the food back home, and now you're preparing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a double-edged sword because at the same time, what you just said is very true. Also, I have experienced the opposite where I've been trying to do too much stuff outside of trading, and then it means that my energy is getting diverted in different directions. So I guess what's
Mm.
important is having hobbies and things that don't require so much mental capital compared to actually doing something that's completely different. Um, because then it's like the whole thing of the your shower thought. What is the one thing that you're thinking of in the shower? If you have two things to be thinking about, we're losing so much focus energy because creation is just focus on one particular thing, send energy towards that, and eventually the flower will grow. But if we're trying to look after too many flowers, the chances are one of them is going to get neglected and yeah, not come to fruition. So
Mm.
yeah, it's a dance, and it's the same thing with everything. Like trading, life in general, it's always dancing between the two things, trying to navigate. And trading navigate between fear and greed. Um, Nothing is
But
black and white.
there's one thing that you mentioned. There's one thing that you mentioned is keeping your mental capacity. For example, I remember a few years ago I had a girlfriend. When she wakes up, she always thinks of what she's going to eat that day. And so sometimes I would tell her, you're wasting so much time on making decision on what you're going to eat instead of just, and to be clear, when I'm talking about this, I have the same breakfast for about 10 years already. So maybe there were just like slight variations, but the base is the same. Ingredients are the same. Maybe I just add on top of it like different things. My breakfast is the same for something like 7 or 8 months right now. My breakfast, actually, my lunch is the same. Actually, I'm also guilty of eating a lot of sweets, but actually I stopped doing that in the last 2 3 months. But when it comes to lunch and breakfast, I don't even think of what I'm going to eat. It's automatic. It's already set. I just need to put it into air fryer and it's ready in like 20 30 minutes. A lot of people are focused on the charts, finding the perfect strategy, optimizing it, and so forth. It's important, but actually, the main growth is going to come from your health, what you eat, uh, if how active you are, then spiritually, how your thoughts look like. And when you nail those parts, technicals are important. Having the skill, I mean, you can be the best human being. You can eat the best food ever. You can you be the leanest in the world. If you don't have the skill, if you don't have the edge, these things don't matter. But when you have the edge, these things play such a huge part.
Completely, brother, completely. I was in a meditation maybe about a month ago, and I was focusing on, okay, what can I do to improve my trading? And brother, the answer was exactly what you said. It was what I wrote down afterwards was take care of the body and everything else will flow downstream. And that's it, because this is our guidance system. Like, of course we have our rules, we have our edge that we use, but at the end of the day, for me, it has to be a full body yes. Like, my body has to tell me yes, this trade is right, because the rules are there, they have to be followed, of course, but we have this extra confluence that if we take care of it, it becomes the most powerful thing that we actually have at our disposal as traders. But we were having a conversation
I think
yesterday.
there.
Is my internet okay?
Sorry, I thought you ended. You can continue.
Yeah, so we were at the river yesterday and having a conversation talking about this same thing. Like, when do you trust your intuition and when do you not? Or how do you know if it is your intuition? Who's the one that's actually doing the talking? Is it a parasite in your head that's telling you to do this thing? Or is it your higher self, you you actually communicating that to yourself? And you know the saying, it's like, trust your gut. That's what we say when it's like, okay, yeah, we should follow what we're feeling. At the same time, most people's guts are so messed up. You know, the way they say the gut is the second brain. If our gut isn't in check, then how are we supposed to listen to the person that's communicating from there, or the voice that's communicating from
Mm.
there? So it's like, yes, we should trust ourselves. Yes, we should make sure that we are following that guidance system, but also doing the precursor and actually taking care of it, making sure that it is in check.
There is also one important part that you just mentioned. Uh, also, like people with bad diet, not working out. There are traders that are overweight. Not having a proper sleep and so forth. And I remember a conversation a few years ago with one of the traders. The things that we're talking about now, right now, he said, those things don't matter at all. So he said, focus on the skill and so forth. But we have to think about statistical probability of success in those two systems. Let's say you don't in one system you don't care about the food, about the sleep, or about the workouts and so forth. You don't care about anything. But in this other system, you actually optimize for sleep, for hygiene, for relaxation, for workouts, and so forth. So these players can succeed. Also, these players can succeed, but
Hmm.
the statistical probability of success in this system is much higher because let's say there are 1,000 traders using this system. Not focusing on those things,
Hmm.
there are going to be, let's say, 100 traders make success, but there are going to be 900 others that didn't make a video that they didn't succeed. But
Hmm.
in this system, there are 200 traders that made success, but also there are 800 traders that didn't make a video that they didn't succeed. So what does it tell me? So even if both systems you can make success, here there's a higher probability of success because there were 200 traders that made success. In this system, there were 100 traders that made success. So if thinking about system, so even it's a low, still there's a low probability, but in this system I have a higher probability, so I should go to this system. So because there are more traders making success.
Hmm. Yeah, like, trading is literally just data analysis and probabilities. So we can spend all this time trying to improve something about our trading system when in reality it's just as important to be adding confluences in our life. Um, the like, while you were saying that, I was imagining, okay, how does this translate into the markets? It's like, yes, you can have a strategy like when I first got profitable with just super simple basic rules, higher time frame entries, deep stop losses. That works. At the same time, we can add in maybe a lower time frame entry, improve the risk to reward, and therefore the system is better. So it's not like you have to do it this way, otherwise it doesn't work. It's more so stacking all or as many odds in our favor as possible. I was thinking about this exact thing when I was in the shower this morning, and the whole thing of like cold showers, and they have such a bad rap now, but genuinely, like if you are a trader, it's the exact same thing. Because if you're a trader and you don't have cold showers, I think it's the same thing as leaving out a workout or something like that, because there's two main things that we actually get from cold showers as traders. One, oh, balloons coming up. One, we have
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the nervous system. The Riverside likes cold showers. The first thing is the nervous system, like genuinely going from really hot water to really cold water. That's our body is just perceiving that. Our body is binary. It doesn't know the difference between what's actually going on. That is our body's under attack. When we're in a trade, we're going to draw down, our body's under attack. So if we can stand in the shower and focus on slowing down the breath, slowing down the heart, we're literally doing an exact practice for how our body is going to react once we're in that stressful situation of a trade and drawdown. And then the second thing is most traders aren't successful because of strategy. It's not that they don't know what to do, it's that they can't do what they know that they should be doing. No one wants to have the cold shower. So therefore, every day we're doing something, forcing ourselves to do something that we don't want to do. There's a part of the brain, God knows if I remember what the part is called, but it's the part that looks after, it's like the muscle that is responsible for doing things that we don't want to do. We can genuinely train it like a muscle, and the more that we strengthen that, the easier it is to do things that we don't want to do. Therefore, it's a direct translation to the better equipped we are to actually follow our trading strategy or our trading plan.
I have to add something to that. So I agree that cold showers can be they're amazing, especially when you do ice bath, you feel the pool, like a small bath with ice. I remember when I was living in Vietnam, it's so easy to get ice there. So and it's so cheap. So actually I bought a small pool on Lazada, and every day I had a delivery to my apartment in a bathtub. But one point that I like to add, what you're doing, what am I doing? It doesn't have to be, those are necessarily the best things. That every trader needs to do cold shower, that every trader needs to meditate. So those are not the best things. I think each individual should find what fits them the best. Maybe that's a walk with a dog in a park. It can be, I don't know, it can be cooking, it can be a kiss with a partner, So it doesn't have to be. I think that narrative, especially in a new age thing, Bali, Thailand, and so forth, uh, they trying to put into everybody's eyes that there are certain things that they must do on a daily basis. If you don't do them, you're not successful. But I think that narrative is wrong. So I think each individual should find what fits them the best. So, for example, for a few months already since I came here back to Serbia, uh, I'm driving a bicycle every morning, and oh my God, it feels like the best workout ever. I have a lot of forest, and usually I actually ride a bicycle about 15 to 20 kilometers each morning, and that feeling is the best. I will come back, do some push-ups and so forth, but I don't have to follow the narrative of doing certain things that other people do. It can be good, but it does. I have to find something. Also, you have to find. I think you found something that fits perfectly with you, and also I like to mention a lot that you are one of the greatest psychology traders I ever met. And the perspective, the insights that you have on psychology when it comes to trading, it's just so insightful that there are certain things that when it comes to that, every trader should follow. But when it comes to routines, and preparation and so forth, that narrative that we have to do certain things because it's like the standard. I think those social norms and standards uh, not everybody should practice.
Yes. One thing I would say is I feel like it's the conversation that we just had that yes, there's no blanket thing that has to get done, although there is certain activities that we know that will maybe stack 1%, 5% on top. Like the example I'm thinking of is you would never say to someone, you need to use magic keys. But at the same time, using something which automates your entry and it simplifies it will add
Mm,
1%, let's say, overall. So it's just about how
mm,
serious do you want to take it? How much do you want to optimize? Maybe you don't want to push it to the farthest you can go. Then don't work out before you trade. Then don't get a good night's sleep. You don't have to. You can for sure still be profitable. But if you want to be the best trader that you can be, then look to every area where you can just stack that 0.5%, 1% on top. And then yeah, then you'll step into
mm.
your full potential.
I think you said a really good thing. So certain things, I think each individual should find what fits them the best. But there are certain things on the market, I think that every trader should go for it. For example, you mentioned magic keys. There are such an amazing tools. For example, I still know some traders that actually calculate lots and size and entries and stuff manually. I'm like, that's like Stone Age thing. So there are tools today, like even TradingView has that, magic keys there. Like that's 1% that you can add on the top of your trading model, uh, but you're going to delete, I think, 70 to 80% of repetitive work. And that repetitive work is draining your mental energy, and you should keep it. And uh, like right now, it takes me, I think, less than 10 seconds to set a trade with proper risk management and everything. So I use Trading Copier. So I trade from TradingView, and uh, TradingView has a tool that can calculate your risk and lots automatically. And so what you do on TradingView, it's automatically done on other accounts. So I don't have to even think about it. I can. So next week I'm going to some festivals, going to Croatia, then going to Montenegro, and I'm carrying my laptop, of course. But most of my following the trade, and the setups, I'm going to do from my tablet or like a cell phone, depending where, if it's in a close proximity. But I can enter the trade in less than 10 seconds. It's going to follow my risk management parameters, and it's going to follow my trading model, and it's so easy. I don't drain my mental energy. As you said, that I don't think that's 1%. That's like 10 to 20%, on top of it. It's not even 1%. It's 10 to 20%. And it helps me so much. I didn't use MetaTrader, that is the platform from the Stone Age, and it's all cloud, so you can use all cloud. There are all cloud solutions that you can just avoid CTrader, MetaTrader, or like even people trading on futures. There are tools today that you can just add that on the top of the layer for trading model.
Yeah, brother, I heard you were doing that you had your what's it like your slave account is TradingView and it's connected to all your copy trader accounts. You need to walk me through how to do that, man.
Yeah,
Like that is
yeah,
golden,
yeah.
man.
I'll
That's
show you.
that's exactly what we're talking about. It's just adding on just any area that we can just to increase the probabilities. This kind of segues into what's your opinion on making more money, let's say, in terms of there's multiple ways we can do it. We can improve our risk to reward, we can increase our position size, we can extend or take profits, etc. What do you optimize for most when it comes to making more money?
So what I optimize for the most first, I would say freedom. So freedom of, I'm not saying freedom, to travel, to do certain things, but when I'm saying freedom that I can operate anywhere from my tablet, laptop, or mobile phone. So when it comes to first making money, I first like to mention that optimize for that. There are traders using 10 screens, order flow, and so forth. And you cannot just move your monitors and stuff. It's actually blocks you. Okay, let's say even if it gives me 1,000 risk reward, I'm not going to go for it because it doesn't allow me the freedom of choice, the freedom of movement. I'm not saying like in terms of traveling, it's important, but let's say I go visit some friends, I go do certain things. I want to be able to do everything from my, uh, remote from my devices that I can easily just move and be able to trade. So when it comes to making money, actually optimize for intraday and swing. So I have a model for a swing strategy, which I use on my stocks and forex pairs. So on stocks, I use only spot. I don't use leverage, but on forex, I use leverage. Uh, and what I optimize when it comes to that model, I actually optimize for set and forget. We heard that online that phrase. But what I do actually every morning, I just go through like 15 pairs. And if there's a level that I actually use 4 hours on that model. 4 hours, I see the level, I set the limit, and I forget about it. So maybe during the day, I will check if the price is coming close to that level. So for today, I had 3 trades. Uh, you know, you saw this big movement this morning. So 3 trades, I got the limit. Actually, four. Uh, so one was stop loss and two were actually three were profitable. I didn't wait for full TP because there were news at actually at 4 p.m. Central European time. I don't know what was your time, but we had ICM news. So I wanted to avoid that, close the trades before the news. Uh, but when it comes to intraday, I optimize for intraday session, movements. So I have fixed reward protocol 3.2. So that's my fixed. I take 80% at 3.2 and I keep 20% of volume just running. So when the price crosses my 3.2 threshold, uh, I move my stop loss below 5 minute lows. And so I will keep following as long as the price triggers my stop loss that is in profit. So in that way, I don't have to think if the price is going to reach certain levels. I don't have to predict. I don't have to think. I don't have to waste my mental energy. I can just keep following it as long as the price doesn't trigger my stop loss that is in profit. And I optimize for easiness. Maybe some will say I'm a super lazy person, but I want to be lazy. I want to have freedom of time. I don't think laziness is necessarily a bad thing. I think smart people are super lazy, but they come up with the things that have leverage. So, for example, leverage in terms of using tools, leverage in terms of using certain strategy that can give you freedom of movement. And I like to optimize for those things now.
Yeah, they say that the most dangerous person in the world is a lazy, ambitious person. Or if you want to find a way to get something done easier, give it
Yeah.
to someone lazy and they'll figure out a way to do it with
Yeah.
that involves less steps. That's really interesting, man. So you're really optimizing for that, for the lifestyle element. I want to double click on some stuff there. So you said your fixed take profit is 3.2. That's very precise. I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
derived from data, is it? Is that data driven?
Yeah. Yeah. So I noticed that most of my trades, I would say, so those trades that go to the profit, of course, there are stop losses, but those trades that are going to profit, they're going to 3.2. But when I say 3.2, I want to target minimum 1 to 3. But I add zero point 0.2 because of the spread and commissions, or if there's a swap fee when it comes to overnight trading. Zero
Okay.
point 0.2 serves me only for spreads and commissions. So that
And
way I can get uh, um, as much as closer to 1 to 3, and that
interesting.
difference of zero point 0.2 gives me that opportunity.
Wow. And have you ran any tests to see what the underlying impact on your profit is? Like, as we know, every time we increase or take profit, we're going to have some slight reduction in win rate. Do you know anything regards to how much it's impacting shooting for that extra point two, or in terms of the like your underlying I can't remember the word for it, but like your actual take home, it's more profitable to go for that.
So I like your question. So uh, I'm trading pairs. You know what is ATR?
Hmm. Average true range.
So ATR. So I like to see. So actually, that came from, I would say, years of trading the same pairs. What I've seen that during regular sessions, RUSD and USD CAD are going to give you 30 to 40 pips movement. GBP USD might give you 50 to 60. So that's like something that you're going to get through the sessions. So, and then in my mind, it doesn't make sense for me to follow higher risk reward. Of course, uh, with 20% of volume, I can get opportunity to get higher risk reward, to get some extra money on the table. But when it comes to average true range, for those pairs, it's 1 to 3. Targeting more than that, it's during one session. So I want to finish my 80% of volume during one session. And if you try to go more than that, there is a high probability that you will not achieve. So 3 or 3.2, it's not a big of a difference. But I'm making my decision based on average range. And so my stop loss goes from, I don't know, 6, 7 pips to maybe 12, 13, 14. And so I have my average range and I know and I optimize for intraday movement. So intraday movement, sorry, intra-session day movement. So, but that's based on uh, how how those pairs are moving.
Interesting, interesting.
And
And then
anybody can. Sorry for interrupting.
no,
And
no problem.
anybody can just take take average movement range of any pair. You can take gold, you can take, I don't know, Nasdaq. And for example, there are traders that are trading Nasdaq every day. For example, they fix stop loss. I think is so depending from 50 to 75, and they want to target 1 to 2. Going more than that, if your stop loss is bigger, there is a high probability that just because of the average, true range, will not achieve that. So I think people should keep that in mind. Before, uh, I think a few months ago, I caught a trade. I think it was on gold, but with 20% of volume, I caught, I think, 1 to 17. But my 80% of uh, profit came to 3.2.
Mhm.
So I was just following. So I achieved that 1 to 16, 1 to 17, just following 5-minute lows. Nothing else than that. I didn't predict the levels. I didn't predict the price levels. I was just following 5-minute lows. And it's super simple.
I really like that element of taking off the 80%. Before I was against doing that because I found it too difficult to track my data because I want to know, okay, based on this system, what's my input, what's my output? Very easy to track. At the same time, I found the actual psychological offset to that wasn't worth it because in trading, if we close it at 3.2 and then price does run on to the 17 to 1, there's that inevitable feeling of just feeling like we've been punched in the stomach. I know we have to try and avoid that and
Mm.
think, okay, our job isn't to make the most money, it's to execute our plan properly. But it's just human nature to feel sick just thinking of, okay, had I just held on here, had I just done that, there's always the could have been. So I really like the fact that your system, it maintains the bulk of the closure at that, but it has the psychological element where you don't feel sick after you close the trade because you still have some skin in the game.
Mm.
So I can actually see that being a worthy trade-off for the slight increased difficulty or slight less accuracy in the data collection process. I remember, yeah, hearing that's how you
But
did it. And
sorry for
the crack
interrupting.
on. No, shoot.
Sorry for interrupting. That can work on certain pairs. So, for example, I noticed that 20% volume strategy taking profit doesn't work because Nasdaq is moving just like crazy. On gold, it's working perfectly. On USD CAD, it's working perfectly. ARUSD has certain movements that give you such profit taking system. But gold and USD CAD, when they're moving, when they're falling, those 5 minute close stay. So just a few days ago, I caught 1 to 6, 1 to 7, but that 20% volume. So 80% was taken off at 3.2, and I want to take the most money, at 3.2, but I'm happy with 20%. That 20% can deduct me, expenses for the next loss or something like that. And so
Hmm.
it keeps me in the game.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, isn't it? It's just staying in the game and just having our winners pay
Yeah.
for our losses. So I
Yeah.
really like that. It's like almost just keeping that little runner in. It just takes off maybe one or two losses from the month. Just again, yeah, just making sure that we can still
Yeah. Yeah.
live to fight another day.
Yeah, people can test it. People can take, I feel like 20% for me is perfect, perfect range. People can do 10, can do 30. I think 50-50 is not a good case. 50-50 is not a good case. I think
Hmm.
80% needs to be taken off before. He actually used to work with 50-50 about a year ago, actually about 2 years ago now. But then I realized that, I'm actually uh, leaving a lot of money on the table because price might hit you at 3.2, but then it reverts back.
Yeah, it's again these decisions. Yes, we can figure them out from thinking through them, but again, data for me has just been absolutely golden for that because it's like the answer is there in your face. It's like, are you making more money or are you not? And yeah, for me, I used to do the same thing. I used to have three take profits, take certain off at the first point of failure. Let's say the first swing high, and another point here, and then yes, that's amazing if price reaches your final take profit, but the percentage of trades that actually reach that is so much less significant than the ones that actually do reach it, that initial point of failure. That yeah, it seems like the most logical way to go about things, but the data says completely different. And again, any decision that can be figured out by math, we should use the math.
Yeah, but
I
that's also intuitive. Sorry, I thought you wanted to say something,
yeah, well, I wanted
but
to.
actually,
Shoot.
my God,
Spit it out.
sorry, you just I don't know if who. There's a
You
there's a small delay. Okay, so what I wanted to say is that you mentioned gut. Gut can be a powerful tool because gut is actually knowledge that came throughout the years. Also, sometimes gut would tell me that also gut gave me the reason to develop such system because it's throughout the years trading, looking at charts, looking at what before a few years ago I was always trying to be, I've seen the guys making 1 to 400 risk reward. I was like, I thought that's possible, that's possible to do it, but then catching those trades is once, maybe twice in a year. And I was so much focusing to show everybody, oh, look how big my risk reward is. And I wasted so much time trying to prove others how good I am.
Yeah, man,
And
it's
and that's
ego
that's
play, isn't it?
something that was something really wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I think it's just a part of the process. Like again, our ego serves us so much in trading because we have to believe that we can do this thing that everyone around us is telling us that we can't do. Statistically, it's saying that we can't do it, and our results also are telling us that we can't do this. And despite all of that, we have to keep pushing forward and keep believing, no, I can do this. I can do this. So it gets us through that. It's our buddy and our companion in that stage. But then we reach a point of diminishing returns where the ego is actually doing exactly what you said there and
Mm.
self-harming us. Like it's now no longer good to just keep believing that we are better than we actually than the reality of the situation is. And then that's the point then where we have to switch it and then say, thank you. I appreciate you that you've taken me this far. We've got through all of this war together, but now you need to quieten down and you need to let me do what I need to do, the rational thing to do.
Mm. So also you mentioned diminishing returns. So you can actually, because diminishing returns at certain level, even in trading, can stagnate. But by developing a risk, actually profit taking system, you can keep those. So those diminishing returns don't have to fall off the cliff. You can just, with diminishing returns, you can just keep floating slowly compounding and floating. So, but there needs to be a proper profit-taking system developed, and I think because your profits are actually deducting your losses, having a proper one is a crucial skill in trading. You can pray, you can hope, you can meditate, you can try to manifest, you can I don't know, have the best positive minds in the world, but doesn't matter if you don't have the proper skill.
Hmm.
It's important to be positive and stuff, but having a proper skill is also super important.
Yeah, it's like this debate that's constantly ongoing online. It's like, oh yeah, do you just sit there and shout affirmations in the mirror, or do you do the work? And again, it's neither. It's not binary. For me, they're synergistic. If I do the affirmations, let's say, if I do the meditation, that then creates the space for the information and the inspiration to come in on what to do or the direction
Mm.
on what to do. Then it's our job to actually take that and actually if I can do it, because we can make notes and
Mm.
learn all we want, but unless we're actually doing the work, nothing changes. And yeah, so it's neither or. It's of course it's both.
We touched a lot of points on this call, and I feel like this call can be super productive about for others. We didn't talk that much about certain aspects of the market. We didn't talk about Trump. We didn't talk about market conditions. We didn't talk about the crypto, which is, I feel like that's a good thing, and I feel like that we reached our diminishing returns. I'll give you an analogy. We have a common friend, Alex, and a few months ago we went out to a club called, I forgot what was the name. And so we had so much fun, so much fun. It was so fun. But then he mentioned one thing, bro, he said, I think we reached our peak. And he was saying that going out is like diminishing returns. We have our peaks are going higher, but then we reach the peak. And he says, if we continue further, it will not provide us any more value. So, because there's a law of diminishing returns, it cannot get any better than this. We can keep staying longer at the night, but then tomorrow morning we will wake up tired. Maybe, we'll get into some trouble and so forth. I think it's better to go home now. And I feel like with this call, I really enjoyed, but I feel like we reached our peak. It might get better than this, but I think we gave so much value in this conversation that I think it's more than enough. What do you think? If you want
Yeah.
to talk about something else, I'm open to it.
No, dude, I think we have so much stuff that we can unpack. But what you said stands true, that you want to be that person that leaves before they're asked to leave. That you want to be that guy that comes to the party and then isn't there strangling on. Yeah, dude, again, we could fully run another one of these up because I think we have a bunch more stuff
Yeah,
to
yeah,
chop up. But thank
yeah.
you,
We,
my man.
we can do we
Appreciate
can
you,
do
dude.
one next week. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm happy we had this call. We're going to chat definitely more. I enjoy every conversation I have. I will learn so much that I encourage everybody to follow you and your channel, and because there is so much that people can learn from you. And I'm so grateful to know you.
Oh, brother. Likewise, my man. I appreciate our relationship so much. I'll plug all of your socials and your groups and everything down below.
Well, all the best. See you in the
All right.
market.